Hi there. I wanted to do an update today because there's quite a few messages coming through that are from people that are going through situations similar to mine, where they're in an end-of-life situation, and for one reason or another, they're quite distressed. A lot of the people are in the United States, and I wanted to make sure that there's a message that's getting out there in the United States, and it's specific to the Dying with Dignity Act in Oregon. In June this year, June 2023, Oregon changed the rules around dying with dignity, and they removed the requirement to do a residency check. In other words, no matter what state of the United States you live in, you can travel to Oregon and you can take advantage of the Dying with Dignity legislation in that state. I will post a link down to an article that discusses that. I just want to make sure that more people are aware that that does exist as an absolutely valid option for United States residents to take advantage of that, because I'm a big advocate for euthanasia. There's every possibility I will be euthanizing myself at some point, and I say that because I believe in it. And if you're in a situation where things haven't worked out, and you're looking at a difficult death, then something like euthanasia, well, exactly euthanasia, is something that you may well want to consider, and you may well want to actually take part in. So I want to make sure that everyone in the United States is aware that Oregon has actually come to the party and has actually saved the day for you, and you need to be aware of that. I tip my hat to the legislature of the state of Oregon for having the foresight and probably the guts to do it. I think it is very kind legislation, and I tip my hat to you. That's fantastic. I'm really lucky in that I live in Western Australia, and Western Australia has been very, very forward-thinking in the Dying with Dignity legislation. In Western Australia, it's called the Voluntary Assisted Dying Act, and most but not all states and territories of Australia do have an equivalent of a Voluntary Assisted Dying Act. I note that all of New Zealand does, so well done, Kiwis. You've beaten us once again. And it does make me sad, for example, that in the United Kingdom there is no such option. I can only reflect that the things change in the arc of time, and I think that there will come a time where I'd like to think that every country in the world will have some kind of legislation like this, because I think it's important, valid, humane legislation. Of course, within the arc of history, some countries go first, and one country will come last. And I'm nothing but fortunate and lucky that Australia, and my home state of Western Australia, was one of the first legislatures in the world to legalise euthanasia. So, and thank you to the legislature of Western Australia for that. I do thank you. You've probably noticed I'm next to a Buddha, and whilst I'm not Buddhist myself, my actual personal religion is Yetzism, which I'll talk about on another day. I do really respect the Buddhist religion for a couple of reasons. One is that the underlying basis of Buddhism is that life is hard and life is a struggle. The second thing about Buddhism is that they say that, but if you work at it, you can achieve peace, and in the Buddhist world that is called nirvana. And I find there's an inherent truth in that. And that's why I've always had this Buddha in my garden, even though I'm not a Buddhist myself. I want to look into a little bit more. I do note that this one here is, I believe, a Thai Buddha. There is also a fat laughing Buddha. There is also a Zen Buddha. There are other Buddhas. Just as with Christianity, there are many different flavors of Christianity and Islam and Judaism. Buddhism is exactly the same. So there is a Thai flavor, and there is a Chinese flavor, and a Japanese flavor, and what have you. However, they all carry that common concept that life is hard, life is a struggle, life is also worthwhile, and if you work at it hard enough, then you will achieve nirvana. So that's pretty much everything I wanted to say today. So the key message is, if you're in the United States and you are thinking that you don't have dying with dignity options available to you, I'm here to tell you categorically that you do. And it's the state of Oregon that has come and rescued you. So I'll post that down below. Please do read up on it. And I hope that for some of you, this means you've now found peace, basically. So peace be with you. Thank you.